So here are several Matchbox catalogues from the mid-80s for you, and I'm doing this as a flat-out video recording because I've got a little bit of natural light for once, so I'm just going to go for it. Matchbox 1985. Various little cars here. This one I had. This one I've reacquired quite recently because I fancied it, so I got it, which is always nice. Do I remember any others? I don't think I do, actually. I suspect that little car carrier had been going for many years at the point when I got it, even so. Little plane I remember, like a little F-15, I think that one, isn't it? Just try and sense this for you a little bit more. There we go. Little London bus. Such a huge range they did. I mean, it's not dissimilar to Hot Wheels now, and Matchbox were the sort of the precursors. I love you get little horses in that horse box. That's brilliant. What else we got here? Yeah, a lot of these sorts of helicopters were around. You saw quite a few of those types. There's emergency vehicles. Pontiac Firebird. That's nice. What else we got? It's nice that they say what they are as well. At least they actually give you descriptions, so you know what it is that you might be trying to pick up, which is helpful. Okay. Yeah, a little, almost looks like something out of Thunderbirds, that one. A little sort of rescue jet. Or something, perhaps. Lamborghini Countach, nice. Sideswipe's going to have a word. Rocket transporter. So these are obviously slightly more sort of functional. Now this one, mission helicopter. This gives me an excellent excuse to do this. One moment. Now, this I saw on eBay the other day, and I had to grab it because look at the profile. As soon as I saw the sort of the front of it, I'll rig the camera for. Now, I don't know if that reminds you of anything. If I put it up against the white there, the instant I saw that, I went, "That's Blue Thunder." Then they don't call it Blue Thunder, but it's a helicopter. It's blue. It's got these bits sticking out, which were just bolt-ons for when they did the Blue Thunder helicopter. But it's ridiculously stubby. Bizarrely, it's ridiculously stubby. But nevertheless, the cockpit also looks very much like Blue Thunder, and it's got these, look very much like chain guns on the front of it. So I think Matchbox did that on the QT. I think they crossed their fingers and hoped that nobody would notice and release an unofficial Blue Thunder toy when no one was looking. That's what I think. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it because that's so similar to Blue Thunder. It can't be anything else. If you're not familiar, it was both a TV series and a film featuring the chap from Jaws, whose name is going to escape me. Yeah, it won't come to me. I'm sure it'll come to you in the comments, but it won't come to me right now. He's also Roy Schneider, was it? He was also in Sequest DSV as the captain of the submarine. There you go. Random factoid of this particular video. But yeah, I hadn't twigged that would actually be in this catalogue. So it's quite funny that came together. That's the first time I've shown that on a video. That little toy. What else we got here? Various random bits and bobs. Action-packed gift sets. Don't remember having any of those. I suspect, you see, that a lot of these are going to be kind of outside of my sort of toy buying days, so I'm not expecting to recognise many of these, but they might spark a memory for you guys, so that's why I'm doing it. Matchbox specials. So these look like they could be a little bit bigger, perhaps, than the other ones. Possibly. That looks like that looks like a Cars car, doesn't it? But presumably because it is a sort of NASCAR racing type car, but it looks very much like the car from Cars. That Pixar film that is now old hat, but used to be all the rage. Matchbox Skybusters, yes, and I see auctions for these quite frequently, but I'm just having a little squint at them to see if I don't particularly remember having any. Possibly the F-16 Falcon there, possibly. that's about it, I think. As I say, might just be a little bit beyond my time, perhaps. Matchbox Convoys. I think quite a bit of quietly themed stuff, like with sort of with NASA. Okay, I'm just going to flick through rapidly because I've got quite a lot of these to get through. Big truck stop playset, that's nice. Car carriers there. Porsche Turbo. None of these are ringing any bells for me. Sunkissed, wow. Is Sunkissed still a thing? Is Sunkissed still an orange-based drink / lolly? I don't know if that brand's still going. Yeah. Ooh, aircraft transporter. It looks like a red arrow on the back of it. This one here. Helicopter transporter, boat transporter. Ferrari. Milky Bar, brilliant. Shell. Super King's Utility, apparently we're into now. Super King's Emergency. We'll have some extra figures. That's interesting. I'm half wondering if I've picked up those figures from some other random auction. Isn't that bizarre? Could be that. I don't know. Matchbox, small Matchbox Super Kings, general ones. So there's a construction mode. What else we got? Play hat. Really? It's literally supposed to be a play hat. Okay. Awesome. Carry cases. Oh, carry case shaped as a steering wheel. Marvellous. Carry case garage. Gear shift garage. Didn't have any of those. What does that say? Burn it key cards or something? Lockups. How bizarre. So it looks like you activated certain features of them using actual keys, like you would do with a real car, of course. Racing stunt jump, twin launcher, and motorbikes. That's quite unusual, actually. You don't see a lot of motorbikes in these sorts of catalogues. Trick shifters. 7 different stunts. Okay, interesting. So starting to edge into a slightly more sophisticated type of product there, rather than just straightforward models, I guess. Models of yesteryear. I think I had that one. I'm not sure about any of the others. I think I had a red and black one, but I can't see it there. No. Okay. So that was the year that was 1985. Let's move on to 1986. This one's massively thick, actually. This feels a lot thicker than the previous one. So there's 1986. So probably not going to be radically different. Yep, some of the usual suspects are still there. The funny thing about a lot of these lines, I think a lot of these lines didn't shift that much from year to year. I mean, I don't know whether it would be the same these days, but I quite like that Pontiac T-top there. That's cool. So having said that, of course, I bet you I won't now see that that car transporter I pointed out to you in the last one. That's almost inevitable. So just these standard sort of bits and bobs in there. Miniatures new models, it says. So that helicopter was there before, but yeah, ironically enough, that car transporter, as I say, it's gone. That was there. I mentioned that before, didn't I? That plane transporter, that was there before. So now we're into miniatures new models, apparently. So Porsche's Ford Supervan, Peugeot Quasar, shiny. There is actually a car I saw in an eBay auction just recently, and I'm kind of wondering if I'll come across it in this catalogue, because I haven't actually got a Scooby-Doo who made it. I recognise it, but the auction isn't detailed enough to tell me what it is. It's part of a big job lot of cars, so it's no help, unfortunately. So these are all new designs, so Matchbox was still still quite active late on in the 80s when a lot of others had kind of fallen by the wayside by this point, but they were still going pretty strong, it seems. So various action packs and tractors and stuff again. This is such a thick catalogue. I'm kind of wondering, right, okay, High Rider, so this is new. They're obviously also actively adding to their catalogue then at this point. I think I had that. I think I had that NASA rocket. That's definitely ringing a bell for me. It's got that separate nose cone. Yeah. Yeah, I think I might have had that. And that was a new design. So that was in '86. That's interesting. That's interesting. So it's part of that NASA set as well. I wonder if someone bought me that as a present or something, thinking I'd still been into cars and stuff at that point. It's very me. I probably would have used it as a sort of Flash Gordon style of rocket ship from the looks of it. If you remember the start of the Brian Blessed Flash Gordon film, when they sort of take off and leave Earth, that's probably what I would have gone for. I can't remember if that came before or after '86 actually, off the top of my head. Various planes, various. Okay, lots of new designs of sort of race cars there. Specials, apparently. Yeah, they're really pushing the Super Kings range. They're quite a lot. They're doing the pictures of sort of improved. The pictures have got better. And if you're thinking they look a bit dark, well, they are that dark. It seems for some reason. I don't know why they didn't sort of light them a little bit better, but that's just the way of it. I mean, obviously this catalogue is old as well, so that I think the paper has faded a little bit. I'm just quite sure it's not as white as it used to be when it came out originally. I mean, these are tiny as well. These catalogues are tiny. I'm zoomed in quite close to try and get a reasonable size of them for you, because they must be sort of kind of go in the right direction now. A5, A6 maybe even. They're really, really small. Which I suppose when you're marketing to kids and who've got good eyesight, it doesn't really matter so much. But for me these days, if I didn't have my glasses on, I'd have no chance. Okay, so various trailery sort of things in this catalogue. Shell, Ferrari. So quite a few sort of semi-licensed things. Clearly, they've also got quite a few permissions to use other brands' names to do a lot of these. So again, yesteryear models, various. The old school racing types there. Playhat again. There's garage setups as well. Definitely getting more interactive again. Definitely pushing the play sets. Truck stop still being Soul Streak Racing. They're pushing that one as well. Motor City Car Wash. And carry cases again. So all the usual suspects really. Okay. 1987. Yes, I got a job lot, as you can see. Matchbox 1987. But still going. I mean, still putting out these old school catalogues even into the late 80s. So they obviously felt that they worked for them. And of course, we're still well before websites. So this is the major advertising tool at this point. Although there are Argos catalogues, of course, by this stage. But there's so much, their range is so big, you wouldn't really be able to squeeze it into another shop's catalogue. I mean, Argos catalogues, of course, were notoriously thick back in the day. But even so, this is pretty. They'd be struggling to get all this in. So I guess the idea was that these just sort of sit in boxes in smaller independent toy stores, and you just pick one up and take it home and tick stuff off as you got them. I've been quite lucky with the ones I've got. That's interesting. That looks like a mask rhino, doesn't it? But I think the idea was, you just sort of tick these off as you went. That looks very much like, that looks like the example of the mission helicopter that I've got, which may well be exactly the same as the other one. I just noticed that mine's got the orange tail fin on the back as well. You can see it's exactly the same. Just a little example of. Yeah, so there are still a lot of the usual suspects. So even sort of 3 years on, that's still in there as well. So they obviously, just produced these massively en masse and just kept them going year and year and year. That's a mission helicopter in slightly different colours. So maybe that was intended to be more of a sort of fire-based one. Yeah, those are new designs. So they're not really new designs at all. They're just old designs in different colours. But anyway, that one looks like Ultra Magnus. This one was drawing their inspiration from Matchbox for their Transformer design colour schemes. Because that's curious. Motor City, garage, construction crane, conveyor loader. Okay. Motor City play track. Motor City play track. Super fast lasers. Oh, I see. They've got they look like they've got sort of prismatic wheels. Don't know if you'll be able to make that out, but they've got sort of prismatic, shiny wheels. So that's why they're calling them lasers. That was their gimmick. What on earth is that? Oh, I see. It's a laser race set, right? I thought that was an owl. Apparently, it's a space monster. Apparently. Oh, Big Bang launcher. That's an air-powered thing. Clever. More Skybusters. Interesting, they haven't put the helicopter into the Skybuster range. Perhaps because they know it's not a real one. And the rocket's still there. Various aircraft transporters and things again. Action packs, super trucks. Sorry, let's see that one. Yeah, what else? Specials, various. Still getting flashbacks to cars, must admit. Those look newish. I don't remember if we saw that one before. That's quite an impressive dozer. And the bikes again, still featuring. Is that Matchbox truck advertising Matchbox products? That's novel. Eurotrans. Car not included in the tow truck pack apparently. Fair dues. Junior Matchbox Club. Interesting. I wonder if that was trying to get parents to sign up to subscription cars or something. That would probably be an early adoption thing. And here we go. This is the new Junior Matchbox Club, and we want you to join the gang. Okay, exclusive models, clever. Comics, yeah, I remember. This was also a thing in this time because I remember getting. I remember I had Rail Riders, where if you were like a sort of sort of junior railing enthusiast, they had sort of a comic and a magazine and stuff like and badges and stuff like that. Quite common that to get sort of membership clubs because again you see no web, no internet, so it's very much a case of you having to get stuff through the post basically. So catalogues were huge back then because there was no electronic communication of catalogues like there is now. They were based in Chester. Well, that's interesting. It just wouldn't have been a million miles from me at the time, so funny. Back into so they still got the Texaco and Ferrari tie-ins there. I was thinking perhaps they'd faded off over time, but they are still going there. It seems. I'm not quite sure what the history of Matchbox is. I don't know if it sort of faded over time, or if it sort of they got bought by somebody and it kept going. Because people like Dinky had just sort of faded away at this point, and I think Corgi had kind of died off by this point as well. Although Corgi have been brought back over time as well. Somebody clearly bought Corgi and then sort of has taken them down a slightly different path in a sense. But I'm not sure if Matchbox is still live. So all these truck stops and stuff we've seen before here. Oh, hello, Gargantua. Great name. I think I saw this when I was flicking through it before. So this is a robot that's got cards sort of lodged in it, which can then deploy them through tracks from its arms. That's really novel. You know what? I'm looking up on eBay next, don't you? just to see if anyone's got one. That's a really fascinating idea. The giant-sized robot who controls die-cast models. Oh, it's of course, it's Gargantua. I was misreading. I do apologise. Gargantua. Nice play on words. Well done. Action Matchbox. So these are the ones that do stuff, basically. You can tell this is massively ramped up from last time as well. They've got a lot more models here, so they're trying much harder here. Hot Rod Racers, apparently being the latest and greatest. What else we got? Motorized Speed Riders. Okay. Interesting. More racetracks there as well. Yeah, we've seen that before. Pocket rockets. Oh, that's interesting, because I was kind of wondering if penny racers were Matchbox. I remember penny racers, but I don't know who they were done by. I haven't seen them in any of the catalogues I've had. A-Team tie-in. That's interesting. That's the first one I've seen of those. I thought Ertl had the A-Team license. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. That was done very quietly there, Matchbox. I thought you'd be... If I were Matchbox, I'd have been shouting that to the hills. Pocket rocket racers. They look similar to penny racers, but they're obviously not. Ooh, there. I'm getting Tron vibes off them. These special designed racers are out of this world. Luigi Colani, the world famous designer, created these superb futuristic cars. Pocket rockets, power blasters. And that's it. Apart from what's on the back cover. Right. Final one. These have been knocking around for so long. I'm glad I finally got round to doing them, because now I can not feel guilty about having had them lying around for so long. Looks like the weather's going to stick with me as well, though it's actually going across the page now. I was getting too sunny. Miniature super fast lasers combo. So that's a little index at the front there. I'm hoping this is going to stay visible. Yeah, I'm just debating whether or not I should pull the blind down. I think I'll keep going. It'll probably be okay. So miniatures, new models. Okay. I'm shifting well outside of my time zone now for these sorts of things. But just be interesting to see if they get any more. They start doing more sort of TV and film tie-ins or anything like that I might have been interested in. No, those are all fairly sort of pedestrian type ones. They look fairly, yeah. So that looks like that mission helicopter has now become the sort of standard mission helicopter. Perhaps a little bit more than the Blue Thunder-esque one. So that's obviously they've sort of quietly taken it over. Repeatable wreck truck. There's that one that looks a little bit like Ultra Magnus, but isn't the same truck type, I don't think. I think that's actually like the Optimus Prime cab. Because obviously that was a standard cab from back in those days. So that's when Optimus got brought in. Okay, twin packs happening. And 10 and 20 car gift packs. So I bet they go for quite a bit on eBay when they're around, because that's a pretty straightforward way to get a shed load for your collection if you want it. And now they're doing themed packs as well, so obviously getting into bundling at this point. Super fast lasers, new models. More super fast lasers, and the track's still there. Okay, we've seen those before. Laser jet launcher. Okay. Big bang launcher. We've seen that before. Quite clever ideas though, just to try and keep kids interested, I guess. Probably going to encourage them to accidentally lose their various cars as well, which will increase sales. That's quite clever. What else we got? Super miniatures. A budget range of miniature diecast vehicles. Well, are the other diecast vehicles not budget then? I don't know. Some quite interesting designs towards the back of that page actually. They're quite cool, but I wonder if they were just slightly less die-casty than the others or something. I don't know why they'd be budget otherwise, but Super Sport Convoy Special Editions. Cadbury's Fudge, funnily. It is quite funny because you just see these sort of examples of kind of old marketing on the sides of these toys. Kit Kat, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Breakaway even, gosh. That's got me hankering for a breakaway now. It's lunchtime and I'm hungry, that's why. So Rocket Transporter is still going, bless it, 4 years on. So is that little helicopter as well, now part of a set. The truck stop is still going. Brilliant. Motor City. Motor City again, but I think I don't recognise that from any of the previous catalogues. So maybe that's new. Motor City 400. Well, unless they're exceptionally small children, that's quite a big chunk of place there, isn't it? It's impressive. Motor City gift sets. You can imagine the hilarities of trying to walk around that with that on the ground in your house. There's the sort of thing, it sounds exciting at the time, but you're only ever going to be allowed to have it down for about 2 days. Then your parents will get sick of it and you'll have to take it back up again, and it'll probably never ever come out of its box after that. It sounds like a good idea, but actually not so much. Some more carry cases. So it looks like the Junior Matchbox Club is being pushed harder there. Little application form. Check cash or postal order. Postal orders, brilliant. You better get checks these days, but postal orders, wow. I think for postal orders, didn't you literally have to go into a post office and pay your money over, and then the post office would give you that amount as a sort of post check, something like that, wasn't it? I think that was the system for those. Brilliant. The Matchbox International Collectors Association. January 1985 founded. Yeah. Mika. I wonder if that's still going. North American branch, United Kingdom branch, Australian branch. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so we've seen all that before. Gargantua is still going. Slightly different pictures, but still going. Gargantua, brilliant. Super Kings, new models. And they're still pushing all these ranges. So trying to collect Matchbox must be quite the endeavour, because they must have brought out so many. More Super Kings. Wimpy. Texaco tie-in still going. 7-Up, Total. Crazy. The trailers are still going. Yeah, Euro Texaco, Porsche. Yeah, I'm going to say I thought that was new. I didn't think we'd seen that before. That was presumably quite big for the cars to actually be able to sort of fit inside that one. Formula Racing Team. That looks like an actual Matchbox thing. Ferrari. Models of yesteryear on a pedestal now. Because I think models of yesteryear, I don't know. I remember my dad thinking they were really collectible at one point, because I think he used to actually sort of buy them for me, thinking they were going to be sort of mega valuable down the line. Bless him. Yeah, he had little phases like that. Maybe that's where I get my collecting genes from. It's always possible. New models, various. New models, various. There must be old models actually on this page. Oh, Road Blasters. So now we're getting. Looks like we're going to. This must be post Mad Max. I'm guessing these ones on the right here. Oh yeah, look at those. So obviously this is. I mean, this will be the sort of point in time where things like Transformers and the like are probably starting to hurt their sales, because you're going to have to start getting more gimmicky to try and compete with that sort of things. That's probably what's happening here. So they're trying to jazz it up and make them look more like, you know, sort of mask vehicles and that sort of stuff. Because without doing action figures, they are going to start losing their appeal, I imagine. Yeah, I think that's the way they must have been going then. As I say, I don't know a lot about my Matchbox history, so I don't know how long they kept going in this sort of format. But they're obviously trying to keep up here from the looks of it. Road Blasters. I mean, these catalogues are really useful in the sense that if you come across something you don't recognise, then, you know, they are a really, really useful reference point. It does mean that you might be able to pin it down. So if you see an eBay auction just with a picture of something in it, then at least you've got some clues as to who the manufacturer was if it doesn't mention, I suppose. Oh, I see. And they're making a sort of run the gauntlet racetrack for those series of vehicles. It's clever. Major new product innovations for 1988. Bless them. They look a little bit like Jason the Wheeled Warriors vehicles, actually. Some of them. But I guess, you know, they're probably drawing in a lot of influences from various places. Flashbacks. Oh, that's strange. Like sort of dual packs. Turbo 2 new designs. And Turbo Specials. Nearly at the end of this catalogue. Oh yes, and still got some of the snazzy futuristic cars at the back there as well. So that was it. So that's 4 Matchbox catalogues for the price of 1 video that you didn't have to pay for. Excellent. Hope you've enjoyed that little run through. I say I've been meaning to do those catalogues for quite some time, so I apologise it's taken this long, and I'll just I'll leave my little mission helicopter that honestly isn't Blue Thunder there for your viewing pleasure. Please like and subscribe. Cheers for now.